Hello everyone and welcome to Wilkes Now. I'm Allison Sabolka.
And I'm Jacob Chasen.
So we're into fall almost. I am so excited.
We're dressed for the occasion.
We are dressed for the occasion and we match so perfectly today.
I'm ready for
it was not planned.
corn mazes, pumpkin carving,
yes.
trick-or-treating. I'm still going to get candy.
I'm all about fall, and I'm really big with like Halloween because I love dressing up and doing things like that, but I'm not really big on like the pumpkin spice flavored things.
No.
Is that weird? Like, yeah. But anyway, it's fall. We're excited. We're back. We're moving on. Are you registered to vote? It is reported by the United States Census Bureau that only 55% of eligible voters from the age of 18 to 24 were registered to vote in November 2016 election. Of those, only 43% actually voted. If you are interested in getting involved in the election process, Wilkes can help. For National Voters Registration Day on September 25th, stop by the table in the Henry Student Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to get registered. Now let's take it to our very own DJ Renegade from WCRLH with his new segment, Renegade Reviews.
You sure know how to make the best of a confusing and hopeless situation, but boy, this place is quite the enigma, wouldn't you say? I would. And you know, a little warning would have been nice. You know, before they threw us headfirst into this gladiatorial, prison-y place with its perilous medley of twisted stage productions that shred the silky fabric which weaves together the fragile blanket of sanity that keeps us sane. But you know, whatever. Either way, it's safe to say we're in quite a pickle jar here. We gotta rescue our friends and get back to Mr. Boat.
Hello everybody, welcome to Renegade Reviews, hosted by me, Ray the Renegade. Today we are looking at Battle Block Theater, Game 3 by the Behemoth. Previously they made hits such as Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers, but for Game 3, they took things in a little bit of a different direction. As you can see from my jumping and platforming friends right here, the Behemoth went in the platforming direction. That's right, this game isn't as focused on the combat, but it's focused on getting from point A to point B, collecting gems and yarn, while avoiding cats and obstacles along the way. This game is personally my favorite game by the Behemoth, and I can't wait to tell you why. But before we get into that, let's have my friend tell you the story.
Twas a day like any other adventure-y day. Spirits were uncrushably high, everyone was singing and dancing and having a jolly time. When suddenly the ocean was all like surprise, and a huge, massive storm brewed out of nowhere. Boy, that was quick. And there was thunder, boom! And the lightning, boom! And the wind, boom! And like that, it was over. Is everyone okay? Said Hattie. I don't know what I'd do if I lost even one of you, Hattie continued. But the eye of the storm is very misleading, children. Never turn your back on it because the ocean was all like, psych! And it came back even bigger this time, twice as big. As if Poseidon himself extended his hand in friendship and they spat in his mouth. Boy, he was mad. Then the rain came down like a shower of bullets. And the floorboards were buckling and creaking and breaking, and pieces of their ship were raining down like shards of broken dreams. And then Reginald comes upstairs and he's all like, I say, gentlemen, I do believe we're in quite a spot of bother. And everyone else was like, really? What tipped you off, genius? And then Hattie was all like, hey, be nice. Huge giant waves thrashed the boat to and fro and to, carelessly sprinkling friend after friend into the cold, unforgiving abyss of the deep, dark ocean. Everyone was screaming like, help me! Splash! Splash! And there was this huge whale like, made it super scary. And I think there was a shark. Yep, there he is. Oh God. And then Hattie was all like, hold on to your butts. Land ho! And bang, 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 smash! A shipwreck, as foretold by their fate books of fate. And while it seems like the end, this is merely the beginning of another fantastic journey for the brave crew of the SS Friendship.
Thank you, Stamper. Now we're gonna get into the gameplay right now. This game has you jumping, moving, punching, throwing, chucking objects at people, crying for help. You name it, you're doing it. You have weapons. You are on the attack, and your goal is to get to the end of the obstacle course. But here's the kicker. You have to get at least 3 gems per level, as well as optional gems to improve your score if you want to really do good at this game. Not only that, you have to worry about enemies that will, of course, try to attack you, like these lovely cats right here. And you're gonna have to platform, jump, be thrown across blocks of lava, and many other hurdles that are in your path. Watch out for explosions, because you will be injured, my friends. But with practice and effort, you too can conquer Battle Block Theater. And trust me, it is worth putting the time and effort to get really good at this game. There is no more satisfying of a feeling than acing an obstacle course, getting all the gems, and of course, making it to the end. Now, there's a lot to take in for this game, more than I can go into with this review, but let me just say, this game also packs a variety of other features such as multiplayer, online leaderboards, level creation, and some kick-butt boss battles. You really need to check this game out, everybody, because it truly is a treat. It is my personal favorite of the Behemoth video games. So the verdict: go out and buy this game. You will not be disappointed, my friends, because everything about this game is so fun. Whether it's the charming humor, the amazing gameplay, the excellent visuals, shout out to my tortured friend on screen right now, everything is wonderful and you will love it. Until next time, this has been Renegade Reviews. Stay awesome.
Thanks, DJ Renegade, for that great review. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the American Red Cross is reminding donors of the importance of blood donations in cancer treatments. More than 15,000 kids and teens in the U.S. are diagnosed with cancer each year. Many of them will need blood, sometimes daily, while undergoing chemotherapy treatment. The Red Cross urges donors of all blood types to give blood in support of kids fighting cancer, patients with sickle cell disease, and others facing serious illnesses. The Red Cross will be holding a blood drive on Thursday, September 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Henry Student Center. Appointments can be made at redcrossblood.org or by emailing Jacqueline Dercole at redcross.org. Walk-in donors are welcome. And now here is Maddie with Connect with a Colonel.
Hi everyone, I'm Madison Hummer. Welcome to Connect with the Colonel, where we catch up with alumni to see what they're doing now. Today I'm here with Brittany Mudlock. Brittany, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Thank you so much for joining us in the show today. So to begin, when did you graduate from Wilkes University and with what degree?
So I graduated this past January, and I graduated with the integrated media degree.
Okay. How did your experience here at Wilkes help you find your first position after graduation?
It definitely helped, especially with the editing and everything. I actually found my love for video through Wilkes, so it was kind of helpful finding what I really wanted to do.
Where do you currently work, and what is a typical work day for you like?
So I currently work at C3I Solutions. So in a typical work day, I actually will go through about 10 consumer emails for Nestle's team, and then I will take those emails, write scripts for them, and then I will film myself basically talking, and then I will edit and then send them out at the end of the day.
And what do you find most enjoyable about your job?
Definitely the editing process. That's my favorite part about video.
And what was your favorite memory back when you were studying at Wilkes University?
Probably just the late nights being in the lab, because we would just we would kind of goof off, but in a way it would kind of help us think and figure out what we wanted to do for each of our projects that were pretty much due the next day. So
do you have any advice for students here on campus?
I would say make sure you join lots of clubs and get more involved, because it'll definitely help you.
And one last thing, if you could do it all over again, would you choose Wilkes University?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And thank you so much for being here today in the studio with us. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Maddie. Sadly, flu season is upon us, but the good news is Wilkes University Health and Wellness Department has you covered. They have a limited number of flu shots available on a first-come, first-served basis. Stop by their office from 8 a.m. to noon or 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The cost for the shots is $20, payable by cash or check made out to Wilkes University. Or if you aren't a huge fan of needles, as I am not, the Center for Disease Control has released a few tips to help avoid getting sick. Avoid close contact with other people, stay home when you are sick, cover your mouth and nose, clean your hands, Avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. Clean and disinfect touch surfaces frequently at home, work, or school, especially when someone around you is ill. Get plenty of sleep, be physically active, manage your stress, drink plenty of fluids, and eat nutritious food. And we will be right back after this short break, but don't go anywhere.
Stay on top of your health. One simple thing to do
is take the pledge to go and get screened for the cancers that might affect you.
So stand up, cancer, and take the pledge at GetScreenedNow.org.
It only takes a minute to take care of yourself,
And nothing rhymes with org. Nope, nothing rhymes with org. Who wrote this?
12% of the world's population are without clean drinking water. And yet 1 trillion gallons of water a year are wasted in the United States. We take turning on the tap for granted. Others do not. With 7 billion people in our world today, isn't it time we learned to share? Please turn off your faucet. Because once our water is gone, we're all gone.
Welcome to Sports Now. I'm your host, Kirsten Peters. Despite the successful showing for Wilkes Athletics last week, this week's matchups presented themselves to be more challenging, causing most of the fall sports teams to suffer a loss to their record. The team stealing the show for the week with not 1 but 2 wins is women's volleyball. After dropping a 5-set thriller to Manhattanville on Wednesday in their first conference game of the season, the Colonels bounced back on Saturday with a tri-match sweep against Medgar Evers and Wesley on their home court. Wilkes' 3-0 win against Medgar Evers with set scores of 25-12, 25-5, and 25-14 consisted of 23 service aces. Christy Nijek led the way with 8 aces, while Christy Challenger and Katie Shue added 7 and 5 respectively. In the 3-1 game against Wesley, with set scores of 25-11, 25-27, 25-13, and 25-20, Jamie Mikovic played a crucial role in the 4th set. She had a kill, a block, and another kill in a 3-point sequence to give Wilkes the 13-10 lead. The Colonels extended the lead to 22-14 after a Juliet Betke ace before finishing out the set 25-20 with back-to-back kills by Mikovic. Wilkes' defense set a season-high mark with 99 total digs in the 4-set match against Wesley. Betke led the way with a career-high 31 digs. With the impressive showing by Colonel Volleyball, it is no wonder that Mikovic, who is pictured on the screen, was named the MAC Freedom Player of the Week. The junior earned her first Career Conference Weekly Award after filling up the stat sheet over the course of 4 matches the previous week, finishing with a .258 hitting percentage, 3.38 kills per set, and 4.19 digs per set. In 16 total sets played, Mikovic recorded 54 kills, 67 digs, 10 aces, 8 blocks, and 6 assists, while only having 14 attack errors on 155 total attacks. According to women's volleyball head coach Joe Chopek, Jamie, as one of our captains, brings a lead-by-example attitude to the team, whether we are facing a tough opponent across the net or working inter-squad in practice. Her strong work ethic encourages everyone to give 100% all the time. She has set personal goals for herself and realizes that for her to achieve them, the team must also achieve its goals. The Colonels return to the court tonight when they travel to FDU Florham for a MAC Freedom match at 7 p.m. in Madison, New Jersey. In other news, the Colonel football team could not continue their momentum for another win after their historic win against Lebanon Valley last weekend. In their conference opener on Saturday, Wilkes fell to host Delaware Valley 21-10 in a game where Wilkes held advantages in a majority of the team's statistics. For the Colonels, quarterback Jose Tabora finished 21 of 37, passing for 214 yards and the 1 score through the air. He also ran 17 times for 50 yards. Wide receiver Nick Yannick led all Colonel receivers, hauling in 9 passes for 90 yards, while wide receiver Derek Nelson finished with 6 catches for 60 yards and the lone Wilkes touchdown. Wilkes returns home on Saturday to face Misericordia at 1 p.m. Wilkes field hockey split the week with a 3-1 win against Cedar Crest and a 2-0 loss against Alvernia. Cedar Crest took the early 1-0 lead only 7 minutes and 42 seconds into the game. But goals by Maddie Kelly, Haley Gayoski, and Allie Dunn secured the win for the Colonels. With this win, Sarah Myers, pictured all the way on the right, notched her 100th win as the Colonels head coach in just her 10th season on the sidelines in navy and gold. However, Wilkes fell to Alvernia in their next matchup, with 2 goals in the first 15 minutes being enough offense for Alvernia to stop the Colonels. Wilkes returns to action tomorrow night for a 7 p.m. game at Moravian. As for Wilkes soccer, both the men's and the women's teams went 1 for 2 on the week. On the men's side, the Colonels shut out Clark Summit in a 4-0 victory, with 2 goals by Camry Huff and 1 goal apiece by Kyle Bentz and Gabriel Nieves. On Saturday, the Colonels faced stiffer competition, falling 2-1 to Keystone in overtime. Junior forward Cole Hefner scored his first goal of the season in the 76th minute of play to tie the game 1-1, but that was not enough to help the Colonel offense. On the women's side, the Colonels defeated William Patterson 1-0, with the only goal coming from Jessica Egan, who headed in a corner kick from Nicole Harmer in the 31st minute of play. On Saturday, the Colonels fell to Bard 3-1, with the lone Wilkes goal coming from junior midfielder Haley Evans, who scored her first goal this season in the 58th minute of play. Both the men's and women's soccer teams return to the field tomorrow night against Susquehanna, with the men taking the trip away and the women playing at home. In other news, the men's and women's cross-country teams both placed fourth in the Cougar Classic hosted by Misericordia. For the men, Philip Castrine was Wilkes' top finisher again, finishing 15th and setting a career best with a time of 29 minutes and 50.60 seconds. For the women, Autumn Padron secured the top spot again as well, placing 21st and finishing with a season best of 27 minutes and 13.30 seconds. Both the men and the women look to compete at Mount St. Mary on September 29th. And finally, in fall sports news, the men's golf team lost 370 to 307 against the University of Scranton. Corey Kowich led the Colonels, carding an 81 on the par 72 course. The 2 teams will meet again on Thursday at 1 p.m. As for women's golf, the Colonels will face the University of Scranton on Saturday at noon. As for the Beacon Athletes of the Week, on the men's side was junior quarterback Jose Tabora, and on the women's side was junior volleyball player Jamie Mikovic. Be sure to pick up a copy of the Beacon to see their features. That's all I have today for Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters. Wilkes Now will be right back after this public service announcement.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
And welcome to Wilkes Weather. I'm your host, Tyler Aldinger. It's great to be back for another semester here for Wilkes Now. So currently outside it is 72 degrees and sunny. Finally the sun is coming out after a lot of this rain that we got from the leftovers of Hurricane Florence. So the high for today will be 76 degrees, the low tonight in the lower 60s at 63 degrees. So on the map here, as you can see, Hurricane Florence kind of pushing its way up. Initially it came in the Carolinas and it kind of shot up towards us. So now we are getting the remnants of Hurricane Florence. Not as much of a threat obviously as what the Carolinas got, but we did have to deal with some flash flooding in spots. So 7-day forecast. The rest of today, it's looking pretty sunny, 76 degrees as I already said. Tomorrow and Thursday, mostly sunny and partly sunny, highs in the mixed 70s. But then Friday, we're going to have to deal with some more morning rain, but then the sun should come out later on in the day with a high of 79 degrees. Also, another thing to keep in mind is once it rains and the sun comes back out, there is a lot of humidity out there as it is today, so kind of sticky out there. Saturday, partly sunny again, 72 degrees before more threat of some rain on Sunday, so that chance of showers will linger around for a little bit longer. So on the map here, this is as of 11 a.m. As you can see, still some rain, but obviously if you look outside, the sun is starting to come out and it's really getting nice outside. And this is 5 p.m. tonight. Obviously not as much a threat for rain as the sun will stay out there for the remainder of the day. So looking ahead, clearing up later today, staying sunny, and it is going to be a little humid and on the muggy side. So sunny tomorrow and Thursday, potential rain this weekend, and a flash flood watch which expired as of noon today. So that's all for Wilkes Weather. I'm your host, Tyler Aldinger, and we'll be back with more after this public service announcement.
Mother Earth, a gift under our care. Let's not go back. Nurture nature. Nourish the soil and your soul. Let's mend our planet together. Make Mother Earth smile.
Ready, set, resume. A table will be available from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, September 18th in the Henry Student Center lobby. Career peer ambassadors will be collecting resumes and providing resume samples to students. Resumes will be edited by the professionals from the career services and sent back to you within 24 hours, or you can come to our office at Cunningham Hall for a consult. This will help you get your resume ready and set for the intern, career, and grad school fair on Thursday, October 18th in the UConn MAC. Any questions, please contact Career Services at careers@wilkes.edu. Now let's take it over to Neil with his new segment, Scientifically Speaking.
Hello everyone, my name is Neil, and welcome to Scientifically Speaking, a show where a variety of science topics will be discussed. You can find topics ranging from biology to psychology and even more. All that I ask for you to do is come into the episodes with an open mind. With all that being said, let's get started. In today's episode, we will be exploring a topic that seems to be a very prevalent issue in America, and one that seems to hit close to home here in Pennsylvania: addiction. According to the Center for Disease Control, drug overdoses seem to double in just a decade. It's so bad that it's been considered a national epidemic. Everyone has their own idea on what addiction is, from the it's a choice or it's a disease debate, but let's look at what it truly is. Addiction, as defined by the American Psychological Association, is a chronic disorder with biological, psychological, social, and environmental factors influencing its development and maintenance. If you look over at the chart on the screen here, you can see what addiction does to the brain. Brain changes including alterations in the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. In these areas of the brain, with chronic drug abuse, the rewiring of neurons occurs. When this happens, an individual's reward, motivation, memory, impulse, control, and judgment are affected. This can lead to dramatic increases in cravings for a drug or activity, as well as impairments in the ability to successfully regulate these actions, despite the knowledge and experience of many consequences related to the behavior. In a simplified sense, it all comes down to two specific neurotransmitters in the brain: serotonin, which regulates mood and social behavior, appetite and digestion, sleep and memory, as well as dopamine, which plays a major role in the motivational component of reward-motivated behavior. Though we have the definition of addiction, how can we prevent it? Do we talk about it in schools? Do we plaster ads like we did starting with Reagan? Do we continue with the drug war? How about psychologist Dr. Bruce Alexander's Rat Park study? Is it the environment? Well, we currently treat opioid addiction with methadone and other related narcotics. Part of the recovery process normally has a behavioral therapy with a counselor. But according to Dr. Jennifer Potter, she thinks that, quote, the jury's still out on that. According to a research article that appeared in the American Medical Association's journal, which is peer-reviewed in 2011, a randomized clinical study of 653 outpatients dependent on prescription opioids, she and her colleagues found that individual drug counseling offered no additional benefit over and above the standard buprenorphine treatment. Unlike Dr. Potter, other people would say otherwise about behavioral therapy. Dr. Nancy M. Petrie is a psychologist who advocates for what's known as contingency management, a behavioral approach that uses incentives to encourage patients to stay drug-free. Patients who achieve and maintain sobriety can earn the chance to win monetary-based prizes when they achieve and maintain abstinence. According to a research article in the peer-reviewed Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology in 2014, Petrie has found that lower-cost prices work just as well as some higher-cost alternatives when it comes to motivating sobriety. In one study, for example, Petrie and her colleagues found that $300 prizes worked just as well as $900 in incentives when it came to reducing cocaine use in methadone patients. The only downside of this is the amount of expenses that this type of technique costs. Which way is right? Do we stick with just methadone? Do we go the route of contingency management? Well, both psychologists agree that it's kind of silly to ditch either, especially only relying on contingency management. The addictive nature of the opioid is so profound, it is very difficult to kick it without opioid replacement therapy. Addiction really is complicated, clearly, but if you know someone who is struggling with addiction, here are some things you can do. Remember that addiction is not a choice or a moral failing. It is a disease of the brain. Set boundaries and stand by them. Set an example for healthy living. Encourage the individual to seek help. This may include finding treatment resources for them. Be supportive and optimistic. Well, thank you all so much for watching the episode of Scientifically Speaking. I'm Neil, and I'll see you in the next episode.
And thank you, Neil, for that very interesting segment. I'm excited to see where that one goes in the future. The Blue Chip Farm Animal Refuge is looking for good foster parents for their cats and dogs. Fostering offers an animal a chance to leave the shelter and be in a home environment while waiting for a forever home. If you are willing to consider becoming an animal foster, please contact Linda Winkler at linda.winkler@wilkes.edu for more information. Now let's take it over to Ian with his news segment, Business Bonanza.
Hi, I'm Ian Bailey from Wilkes Now. We're here on a beautiful day at the Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market, and we're going to check out Uncle Paul's Snowballs.
Uncle Paul's Snowballs is set up directly in the middle of the farmers market on the square. The setup is simple, but the menu items are delicious. With a variety of flavors, there's a milkshake or a snowball that will strike anyone's fancy.
So Uncle Paul, how long have you been in business?
22 years. Started in Tamaqua, hometown, and now we're up here. We're up here about 5 years.
Now, what was the basic inspiration behind opening the business?
We took a trip to Ocean City, Maryland, and since I'm a Marylander, we brought back the idea of snowballs. We brought the machine back and the flavors and everything. And so we're like the people that brought snowballs to Pennsylvania.
So what would you say your best flavor on the menu is?
Without a doubt, blue raspberry. Okay. It's our best.
Okay. So now, do you have any last little shameless advertisement for your business?
We have great ice cream. We've been married to Hershey's ice cream for the 22 years. Great product. We make a great milkshake, and we make a great root beer float, and good quality stuff at a reasonable price.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
The stand is very family-oriented and provides unmatched customer service. Uncle Paul's Snowballs gives a sweet treat for a great value. Other than the farmer's market, you can find Uncle Paul's Snowballs at bazaars, carnivals, and fundraisers.
That was a little glimpse into Uncle Paul's Snowballs. Back to you in the studio.
And thank you, Ian. Suddenly I want snow cones. That sounds so good right now. And that is all the time we have today. Just a reminder, you can watch us live every Tuesday on Service Electric, Channel 97 at 12 noon. Also, check out our YouTube channel for episodes of the show.
And in case you missed it, our broadcast re-airs every weeknight at 7:30 p.m. I thank you very much for watching. From all of us here at Wilkes Now, have a great week.